Stop. Don't blink. Don't take another step away from this message. My beloved child. Archangel Michael is speaking with urgency. In the next 1 hour, someone will approach you with a surprise that looks innocent, but carries the seed of financial ruin. This is not a normal warning. This is not a coincidence. This is not something you can ignore and hope it goes away. Heaven is in full alert. Your angel is standing between you and a trap designed to shake your stability, your peace, and your future. And right now, this very moment, Michael is raising his voice. Do not take what is offered. Do not say yes quickly. Do not allow charm to blind your discernment. You have seconds. Not minutes. Not hours. Seconds. Stay. Listen. Don't scroll. Your protection depends on this message. My beloved child, listen carefully. Heaven is revealing that the person bringing this surprise is not your enemy by intention, but by influence. They don't even know the weight of what they carry. They think they are helping. They think they are being generous. They think they are bringing opportunity. But Michael says, not every gift is a blessing. Some gifts are hidden tests. The surprise may come in one of these forms: an offer, a loan, a quick investment, a favor, a sudden emotional request, a financial promise that sounds too good, a family member asking you to trust them, someone telling you, sign this, try this, or say yes right now. On the surface, it looks harmless. But beneath it, hidden in the spiritual layer, there is a pull designed to drain your strength, your money, and your clarity. Michael speaks again. The enemy uses speed. Heaven uses peace. If someone pressures you, if someone rushes you, if someone asks you to act before it's too late, step back. Step away. Wait. Heaven is not in a hurry. But destruction is. The 1 hour window. Archangel Michael says the next hour opens a spiritual doorway. This is where your discernment is tested. During this hour, pay attention to who contacts you, who suddenly remembers you, who asks for your time, who appears with excitement, who comes with big news, who speaks too sweetly, who pushes you emotionally, who tries to make you feel guilty for hesitating. The angel says, if it feels rushed, it isn't yours. And listen. You will feel something inside your chest. A tightening, a hesitation, a whisper. Wait. That whisper is heaven. Obey it. How the ruin would have happened. Michael reveals the 3 paths of destruction you are escaping. 1. Emotional pressure. Wrong yes. You say yes because you don't want to disappoint someone. But that yes leads to confusion, obligation, and regret. 2. Quick decision. Spiritual block. Heaven slows what the enemy wants to rush. If you rush, you block the blessing that was coming tomorrow. 3. Financial drain. Long-term loss. The surprise may require money later. unexpected bills, emotional debts, shared risks. Michael says, your money must remain under heaven's protection, not under human pressure. The good news, heaven is intervening. My beloved child, do not fear this moment. Heaven never reveals danger without revealing protection. Michael stands with his sword drawn. Your spirit is being shielded. Your decisions are being strengthened. Your future is being safeguarded. He says, if they listen to this message fully, the trap will collapse before it reaches them. You are being rescued right now. Stay until the end. Beloved soul, you stayed until the end. And that alone activates heaven's shield around you. Before you go, like this message so heaven sees your obedience. Subscribe so Part 2, the identity of the person behind the surprise, reaches you instantly. Comment. I choose heaven's timing, not pressure. Share this with 10 people so the same trap does not reach their homes. Your angel is watching your steps. Your decisions are about to protect your future. My beloved child, don't move. Breathe slowly. You need to hear every word of this. Archangel Michael has stepped forward. And his voice is heavier now. Deeper. More urgent. He says, the one bringing the surprise is connected to you emotionally, not financially. Read that again. This is not a stranger. Not a scammer. Not an outsider. This is someone who knows. Your kindness. Your soft heart. Your guilt. Your fear of disappointing people. Your habit of saying yes too quickly to keep peace. And that is why the enemy chose them. Because the enemy knows. You would never think to guard yourself from someone you care about. Listen. The most dangerous offers, Michael says, do not come from enemies. They come wrapped in affection. Your angel is now revealing the 3 traits of this person. Trait number 1, they always come with urgency. They rarely say, take your time. Think about it. No pressure. Instead, they say, hurry. You must decide. Do it now. Not because they're evil, but because they are easily influenced by whatever emotion controls them in the moment. Trait number 2, their life is unstable. The angel shows emotional chaos, money problems, sudden shifts, impulsive choices, people draining them, or someone controlling them behind the scenes. They don't mean to pull you into their storm. But storms pull anything near them. And you, my beloved child, have always been their anchor. But even anchors drown when storms are strong. Trait number 3, they need something from you. Not always money. Sometimes validation. Sometimes emotional support. Sometimes a feeling of importance. And right now, they believe you holding this surprise will benefit them in some way. Michael whispers. This is why heaven placed this message in their path, to stop what their intention could not see. They are not malicious. But they are misguided. And misguided people can cause the greatest damage unintentionally. Pay close attention to this next revelation. My beloved child. Archangel Michael is now showing me the exact moment the surprise will arrive. It will not come when you're busy, when you're overwhelmed, or when you're expecting it. It will come when you are calm, when you're relaxed, when you feel peaceful. Because that is when your guard is down. That is when you are most likely to let your heart make a quick decision. But heaven is preparing you, so you will not fall. Michael says, when they approach, do not give a direct answer. Delay your words. Heaven needs time to rearrange what the enemy rushed. If you respond calmly, if you wait, if you pause, the trap disconnects. The spiritual string snaps. The influence weakens. The danger dissolves. The angelic countermove in the next hour. Archangel Michael is not just warning you. He is intervening. Over the next hour, you may feel chills, heaviness, sudden alertness, or your heart beating differently. This is not fear. This is discernment activating. The angel says, you are being aligned with clarity. No confusion will touch you. If something feels off, trust that feeling. Heaven speaks through intuition before it speaks through events. You stayed till the end. That tells heaven you are serious about protecting your peace. Before you go, like to confirm you received clarity. Subscribe so Part 3, Why Heaven Blocked the Surprise, reaches you instantly. Comment. I reject every rushed decision. Share this with 10 people so their peace is protected too. Your angel is clearing the path ahead. Your next step will shape the next chapter. My beloved child. Don't move your screen. Don't shift your eyes. You need to hear this with full attention. Archangel Michael is now standing closer. His wings half open. His voice firm. His message unavoidable. He says, heaven blocked that surprise because it was designed to change your daughter's destiny. Let that settle in your spirit. People think danger only comes through violence, negativity, or enemies. But sometimes danger comes disguised as opportunity, help, good news, a favor, a sudden offer, someone acting unusually nice, a gift that comes with hidden strings. And Michael reveals that the surprise being planned for you was never meant for you. It was meant to redirect your daughter's path. Heaven intervened because if you received it blindly, the ripple would touch her life. The hidden impact, this part is critical. Michael is showing something like a spiritual timeline. And in that timeline, one decision, your decision, creates two very different futures for your daughter. Future 1, if you take the surprise. She loses an opportunity. She moves into the wrong direction. A wrong influence enters her life. Her confidence weakens. She begins doubting her own voice. A friend she trusts pulls her into emotional trouble. A financial mistake appears later. Future too, if you pause. She is protected. The wrong influence never reaches her. A blessing meant for her remains hers. Her angel stays aligned. A doorway opens in 12 days. A hidden helper steps forward. Heaven blocked the surprise because your pause saves her path. Michael says, "You are the pillar. When the pillar stays steady, the entire house stands." This is why you were chosen to hear this message. Not your daughter. Not anyone else. You are the stabilizer of destiny. Heaven knows it. Your angel knows it. And now you know it. The one behind it did not know what they were carrying. Listen carefully. The person planning this surprise had no idea it would affect your daughter. They are not evil. They are not plotting. They are not trying to harm her. But they are connected to someone else. Someone whose energy is chaotic, impulsive, and spiritually unbalanced. And that second person, the unseen one, is the real source of the risk. Michael calls this second person the hidden carrier. They don't show their face. They don't appear in your life. But they influence the first person like a shadow behind them. That is why heaven is stepping in. Because what the first person doesn't understand, the second person fully intends. The moment of collision. Michael now reveals the moment everything shifts. It happens in conversation, not action. Someone will say a sentence that changes everything. It may sound simple like, "Can you help me with this? Can you take this for me? Can I leave this with you?" It's nothing important, just say yes. "I thought of you, you'll understand." But beneath that simple sentence is a spiritual rope pulling you toward a direction heaven did not approve. If you simply listen without agreeing, the rope breaks. If you say, "I'll think about it," or "Let me check," or "Not right now," the entire trap falls apart instantly. That is why heaven sent this message before the conversation. So you would not walk in unguarded. So your spirit is awake before your words are spoken. You stayed till the end again. And heaven counts that as obedience, strength, and spiritual awareness. Now do 3 things. Like to seal this protection over your home. Subscribe so Part 4, the name behind the hidden carrier, reaches you first. Comment. I break every hidden influence. Share this with 10 people. Someone else may unknowingly be minutes away from a similar trap. My beloved child, don't shift your eyes. Don't blink too long. Don't move your screen. Archangel Michael has stepped even closer. And his voice is no longer a whisper. It's a command wrapped in protection. He says, "Now that you understand the danger, you must hear the name behind the shadow." But he will not speak the actual name aloud. Heaven never exposes a person's identity directly. Instead, Michael shows the energy of the one influencing everything. And that energy is unmistakable. The person whose energy is behind everything. Listen carefully. This person is not someone you talk to often, but someone who once had strong influence over your daughter's emotional space. Not an enemy. Not a stranger. Not a threat with intention. But a person whose choices, fear, and insecurity ripple into your daughter's world like silent waves. Michael describes this person with 3 unmistakable signs. 1. They act strong but are scared inside. They talk loudly, but they break quietly. They give advice, but they never follow it. They pretend to know everything, but confusion sits behind their eyes. 2. They interfere without thinking. Not because they want to ruin anything, but because they think they're helping, when they're actually pulling wrong energies into the picture. 3. They don't understand spiritual boundaries. They open emotional doors with no awareness. They speak too soon, too fast, too confidently. And their words affect the very people they love. This is the one who indirectly caused the surprise to become dangerous. This is the one whose presence heaven is monitoring. And this is the one whose energy your daughter unconsciously absorbs. Michael says, they do not wish harm, but harm follows their confusion. The message heaven wants you to take seriously. Your daughter is spiritually sensitive. She absorbs people's emotions like a sponge. Even when she says she's fine, her heart collects the unsaid words of others. So when this person speaks negativity, worry, or fear, your daughter feels it deeply. She doesn't fight back, she swallows it. That is why the surprise was dangerous. Not because the first person was wrong, but because the second person, the hidden carrier, would have influenced your daughter's decision afterward. And Michael will not allow that. Heaven is protecting her destiny by protecting your awareness. The next event you must prepare for. Within the next 48 hours, you will witness a moment that reveals exactly who the hidden carrier is. The sign will be clear. They will bring up your daughter's name randomly. In conversation. In a comment. In a question. In a sudden story. In a concern that feels unnecessary. In a suggestion that feels off. And when they mention her name, your spirit will feel a soft pull. Almost like your intuition stepping forward. Michael says, that pull is not fear, it is identification. Heaven is not asking you to confront the person. Heaven is not asking you to distance yourself harshly. Heaven is asking you to guard your daughter's path by staying aware. Your awareness is spiritual armor. The divine shift begins tonight. Michael reveals something powerful. Once the identity is recognized, their influence loses power. You don't have to do anything. Not pray louder. Not argue. Not expose. Not fight. Just recognize. The moment you see the sign, heaven rewrites the path automatically. Your daughter becomes shielded. The bad timing dissolves. The surprise loses its danger. The influence weakens instantly. Her future glows brighter. Recognition is the key. You stayed till the end. And heaven honors every second of your obedience. Now do these 3 things to seal this message. Like to activate the protection spoken over your daughter. Subscribe to receive Part 5, the event that reveals the truth before it happens. Comment. I recognize the hidden influence. Share this with 10 people, because someone else may be living under a hidden carrier too, without knowing. My beloved child. Don't move, don't even blink too long. Because what I'm about to reveal is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Archangel Michael stands behind you right now. His wings unfolded. His sword lowered but glowing. Because this is the part where the hidden influence gets exposed through timing, not words. Heaven says, a single moment will reveal what years have been hiding. And that moment is on its way. The moment you must watch for, it is approaching fast. Archangel Michael makes something very clear. The revelation won't come through a fight, a dramatic scene, or an argument. It will come through timing. Perfect timing. A time of day that feels slightly unusual. A moment when your daughter receives or gives information. A situation where the atmosphere shifts. Ever so lightly. But enough for your spirit to notice. Michael calls it the divine intersection. This is the moment where truth and timing collide. Here are the 3 unmistakable signs you must watch for. Sign 1, the random question. A person will ask something about your daughter. That feels forced, rushed, or unnecessary. Not harmful. Not malicious. But strangely timed. The question will appear out of nowhere. It may sound like, is she doing okay? Where is she today? Did she tell you something? Is she still planning that thing? Did she reach home on time? Is everything fine with her job? Nothing wrong on the surface. But the timing will feel off. Michael says, this is the first crack in the spiritual disguise. Sign 2, the shift in their voice. They will speak softly. Then suddenly shift tone. A little too curious. A little too invested. A little too aware. And that shift will vibrate through your intuition. Your chest may feel warm. Your mind may go silent for a moment. Your heart may beat slightly faster. Not fear, but awareness. The angel touching your intuition. Sign 3, they will mention an event you never told them about. And that is the true revelation. It may be something small. Something your daughter said. Something she planned. Something she felt. Something she wished. Something she kept inside. But this person will mention it. Without ever being told. That is when the entire picture becomes clear. Michael says, this is the moment where heaven exposes the invisible thread. Not a threat. Not an enemy. But a person with unintended influence. Someone your daughter listens to more than she realizes. Someone she absorbs energy from without noticing. Someone who shapes her reactions, her doubts, her decisions. And heaven wants you to be aware. Because once you see the influence, you remove its power simply by knowing it exists. What happens after the revelation? My beloved child, do not panic when the sign arrives. You do not need to confront anyone. You do not need to cut anyone off. You do not need to speak harshly. You do not need to warn your daughter immediately. Michael says, the moment the truth is recognized, the enemy loses permission. Awareness breaks the pattern. Here's what will naturally happen after you see the sign. Your daughter's decisions will become clearer. Her confusion will break. Her spirit will feel lighter within 24 hours. The surprise that was meant to harm will lose its force. The influence will shrink without confrontation. Her path will brighten suddenly and sharply. Heaven handles the rest. Your job is simply to witness the moment. The revelation is for your eyes, not your mouth. The protection that begins immediately. The moment you finish this message, Archangel Michael places a ring of blue light around your daughter. It protects her emotional space, her decision-making, her relationships, her path, her upcoming blessing, and her destiny. Michael says, their confusion can no longer alter her steps. A quiet peace will fall over her soon. So quiet you'll notice her breathing change when she walks into the room. That is the angel's reassurance. You stayed until the end. And that matters in heaven. Now seal this message the way heaven asks. Like this message to strengthen your daughter's spiritual clarity. Subscribe so Part 6, the hidden messenger approaches her, reaches you on time. Comment. I am ready for the revelation. Share with 10 people, because someone else may miss the moment heaven is trying to show them. My beloved child. Don't move, don't scroll, don't let your focus slip for even one breath. Archangel Michael says, the one who carries the message is already moving toward your daughter. Not with danger. Not with harm. But with knowledge. Knowledge heaven wants you to understand before the moment arrives. And this part. This moment. This chapter. Is where the spiritual fog around your daughter begins to clear. Listen carefully. The approach of the hidden messenger. Heaven reveals. Someone is coming toward your daughter with information that will change her reaction to everything she thinks she knows. This person is not an enemy. Not a snake. Not a threat. They are what Michael calls a messenger of awakening. They may not even realize that heaven is using them. They will just feel something pulling them, almost forcing them to step into your daughter's path. They won't come with drama. They won't come with fear. They won't come with harshness. They will come with truth, but truth delivered gently. The way you will recognize this person. Michael gives 3 unmistakable signs. Sign 1, they will seem nervous, even if they are calm people. Not fear. Not anxiety. But a spiritual pressure on their chest that makes them feel I need to tell her this. She must hear this today. If I stay quiet, something will go wrong. They won't know why. But heaven knows. Sign 2. They will begin with, I don't know why I'm saying this, but. This is the strongest sign. People who deliver divine messages always feel unsure for a moment. Because the words are not coming from their mind, but from the prompting of heaven. Michael says, when you hear this line, understand, their mouth is speaking, but heaven is guiding. Sign 3. They will mention a detail they couldn't possibly know. Something deeply personal. Something your daughter has kept inside. A feeling she hid. A worry she swallowed. A fear she never said out loud. And the instant that detail falls from their lips, your daughter will freeze. Her heart will pause. Her spirit will open. Because heaven will use that moment to break the illusion that has been clouding her for weeks. The message they will bring. Michael says, this person will reveal something she needs to hear, not to shock her, but to free her. It will not be dramatic. It will not be destructive. It will not be painful. It will be clear, unexpected, gentle, and delivered with strange timing. The message will sound like, be careful with this person. Someone told me something about you. I heard something at your workplace. I don't know why, but you should watch this situation. You deserve better than what you're dealing with. Simple words, but guided by Archangel Michael. This is how heaven works. Not with thunder, but with perfect, divine timing. What happens to your daughter after this moment? The cloud lifts. Her eyes open. Her intuition awakens. Her emotional confusion breaks. She will suddenly feel protected, guided, calm, aware, alert, spiritually lifted. Michael says, her path will realign within hours, not days. Something heavy will fall off her. Something hidden will surface. Something unclear will become obvious. But she will not fear. Because this message is not for her destruction. It is for her elevation. You stayed till the end. And heaven sees that. Now seal the blessing the way heaven instructs. Like this message so the angelic protection stays activated. Subscribe so Part 7, the workplace revelation unfolds, reaches you on time. Comment. I open the path for my daughter. Share with 10 people, because one of them may be moments away from the same divine intervention. My beloved child. Listen very carefully now. Because this is the moment Archangel Michael kept hidden. Until you reached Part 7. The moment where the real shift around your daughter begins. Do not scroll. Do not blink too fast. Do not break your focus. Michael says, the revelation at her workplace has already started forming in the spiritual realm, and the messenger is getting closer. This part is crucial. The energy at her workplace is changing. You may not see it. But heaven reveals that the atmosphere around your daughter's workplace is not the same as it was a week ago. Something quiet is forming behind conversations. A truth is developing underneath normal moments. A hidden movement is happening in the space around her. Michael says, someone at her workplace has witnessed a change, and they cannot keep it silent anymore. This is where the revelation begins. The one who saw everything. Heaven shows the image clearly. A person who has been silent. Who has been watching. Who has been listening. Who has heard things your daughter never heard. This person is about to step forward. Slowly. Carefully. Gently. Not to embarrass your daughter. Not to hurt her. Not to confront her. But to protect her. Michael calls this person the silent witness. And the silent witness has reached their limit. They have seen enough. They have heard enough. They have been holding back for too long. Soon, they will come forward with a message that feels like, you need to know this. I didn't want to say it before. There's something happening behind your back. I don't want you to be blindsided. This is the moment where the truth cracks open. What the silent witness reveals. Michael does not allow every detail to be spoken yet. But he reveals the type of truth coming. Something someone said about your daughter. Something that could have harmed her. Something that was done in jealousy. Something that was hidden behind friendly smiles. Something that explains her recent emotional confusion. And when this information reaches her, it won't break her. It will wake her. She will suddenly understand why certain people acted strangely. Why she felt energy shifts around her. Why things seemed off. Why her intuition was warning her lately. This is the moment when her clarity returns. Her awareness sharpens. Her confidence rises. Her protection thickens around her spirit. The angelic turning point. My beloved child, this is important. Michael says, this revelation is not punishment, it is preparation. Your daughter will not feel destroyed. She will feel empowered. She will see who cares, who pretends, who envies, who protects. This moment separates the genuine from the fake. It is a divine turning point. And heaven wants you to be calm, steady, and spiritually present as this truth arrives at her door. Because the message she receives will lead directly to another revelation in Part 8. You reached the end of Part 7. And that shows heaven your dedication to your daughter's protection. Now seal this moment. Like this message to keep the angelic covering strong. Subscribe so Part 8, the person behind the jealous whisper, arrives without delay. Comment. I protect my daughter with light. Share with 10 people, because one of them needs this same awakening. My beloved child. Don't move now. Don't let your attention slip. This part requires you to stay fully present. Archangel Michael says, the revelation that began at her workplace is only the surface. The real story lies behind the one who whispered against her. Listen very carefully. The hidden jealousy that started everything. Heaven reveals something powerful here. The person who whispered against your daughter did not start the jealousy recently. It began slowly. A long time ago. In small ways. In tiny comparisons. In quiet envy. At first, they hid it well. They smiled. They spoke kindly. They acted helpful. But inside, there was a seed. A seed that grew every time your daughter succeeded. Every time she was praised. Every time she was acknowledged. Heaven calls this person the shadow speaker. And the shadow speaker has been using half-truths, twisted stories, and quiet words to shift how others see your daughter. But here is the twist Michael reveals. Their plan is falling apart. Because the same person who tried to stain your daughter's name is now being exposed by the silent witness from Part 7. This is divine timing. The angelic intervention begins. Michael steps closer. His voice is firm. The person behind the jealousy will reveal themselves, without your daughter needing to confront anyone. Heaven is arranging a moment. A slip of the tongue. A wrong sentence. A nervous mistake. A sudden shift in expression. It will be small, but it will give them away completely. Heaven wants your daughter to watch for someone avoiding eye contact. Someone suddenly acting overly nice. Someone asking too many questions. Someone trying to guide her emotions. Someone bringing up past situations unexpectedly. These are the signs that the jealous one is cracking under pressure. Michael says, spiritually, their mask cannot hold any longer. The reason for their jealousy. This part is important. The jealousy is not random. It is not accidental. It is not without reason. Heaven reveals. The shadow speaker is jealous of her inner light, her natural favor, her spiritual protection, her confidence, her growing destiny, her intuitive awareness, her connection to divine timing. They cannot understand why your daughter keeps rising, even after difficulties. So they wanted to interrupt her journey. But listen carefully. Heaven will not allow it. The spiritual shield around your daughter is thicker than the jealousy around her. Michael says, the one who tried to break her will be the one broken by their own actions. Not physically, not emotionally, but spiritually, their influence collapses. The moment of truth is coming. This is the moment heaven shows clearly. Your daughter will hear something soon. A sentence. A comment. A story. A slip. A confession. And instantly, her mind will connect the dots. She will realize who has been speaking behind her back the whole time. She will not be devastated. She will not cry. She will not feel lost. In fact, she will feel stronger. She will feel clearer. She will feel more certain about her path. This is not an ending. This is the beginning of clarity. And part 9 will reveal the biggest turning point yet. You reached the end of part 8, and heaven saw your consistency. Now seal this part. Like this message to strengthen her spiritual protection. Subscribe so part 9, the breaking of the jealous spirit, reaches you instantly. Comment. I stand with light for my daughter. Share with 10 people, so someone else's daughter receives protection too. My beloved child. Stay right here. Don't scroll, don't blink, don't lose focus. This is the part Archangel Michael told you would reveal the truth behind the person who whispered against your daughter. Heaven says, you are now entering the moment where masks fall. Listen carefully. The moment of collapse has started. The jealous person, the shadow speaker, has been losing control internally. Heaven reveals. Their mind is shaking. Their conscience is cracking. Their confidence is collapsing. And their tongue is becoming unsteady. Why? Because spiritual light is exposing darkness. What was hidden is rising. What was whispered is echoing. What was spoken in shadows is now being pushed into the open. Your daughter may notice nervous laughter, sudden excuses, silent tension, unexpected apologies, changes in tone, increased curiosity about her day. These are not coincidences. This is heaven dismantling their influence. The angelic pressure is increasing. Michael says, they are unable to hold their lie any longer. Every time your daughter prays, or even thinks of peace, the jealous one feels discomfort. Every time she moves toward her destiny, they feel threatened. Every time heaven shines over her, their shadow shrinks. This is why the shadow speaker is acting differently now. They feel watched, not by humans, but by angels. Your daughter's protection is triggering their exposure. The truth will reveal itself at an unexpected time. Heaven tells you, your daughter will not need to confront anyone. She will not need to fight. She will not need to defend herself. Because the revelation will happen naturally. It may happen at her workplace, during a conversation, in a group setting, in a moment of frustration, or when someone slips and says the wrong sentence. The shadow speaker will reveal themselves without realizing it. Heaven calls this the divine slip. One wrong word, one unplanned expression, one accidental confession, and the entire picture becomes clear. The spiritual shift is happening. Archangel Michael steps forward and declares, your daughter's destiny is rising beyond the reach of jealousy. The spiritual atmosphere around her is being cleansed. What was meant to dim her light will now strengthen it. What was meant to insult her will end up blessing her. What was meant to trap her will free her. The jealous person is already losing their influence. Heaven says they will talk themselves into defeat. Your daughter will receive the first sign before the next sunrise or sunset. Your daughter will sense a new peace, a sudden clarity, a release of heaviness, a stronger intuition, an inner knowing of who the jealous one is. This is not fear. This is spiritual awakening. Heaven is preparing her emotionally, so she will not be shaken when the truth reveals itself. Michael whispers, the one who tried to break her will be broken by their own envy. Not physically, not harmfully, but spiritually, their grip ends. You reached the end of part 9. And heaven recognizes your endurance. To seal this message, like this to increase your daughter's spiritual protection. Subscribe so part 10, the revelation at her workplace reaches you instantly. Comment. Light surrounds my daughter. Share this with 10 people. This helps heaven extend protection to other families too.